aren't who you seem to be, are you, Pamela?
Sorry, who is this? I don't have your number in my phone.
Don't you remember me from that time you left your makeup bag and badge in the bathroom and I hunted you down to give them back to you?
Oh, right. Joyce, right?
That's me. But I'm realizing I made a mistake.
What is this about exactly? What mistake did you make?
When I returned the makeup bag to you, I thought that you were Samuel's wife. I'll admit that you looked the part at first. I definitely had my doubts when I met you. But now I'm pretty sure I was wrong.
I'm not sure I follow.
You really are convincing, you know. And you look just like her to boot. If you didn't, I don't think I would have bothered tracking you down at all. But once I saw you the other day, I realized I got you and her confused. It's a shame, really.
What exactly is a shame?
Just that I wasted my time with you before I realized who you actually were. I can't believe I was so nice to just some random janitor. Such a waste of energy.
Why is treating me kindly such a waste? Am I not a human too?
I'm not going to waste my energy being nice to people who are below me like that. Why should I even bother?
Do you have a problem with someone being a janitor?
If you're asking me if I have a problem with, like, janitors existing? No, I don't. It's their life. They can be janitors if they want, I guess. But do I want to associate with janitors? Of course not. I don't mind being around them when they're cleaning or whatever, but I prefer not to interact with poor people like you any more than I have to. And I don't want to be taken advantage of by some random cleaning lady just because I got her confused with someone that actually matters.
I had no plans to take advantage of you. I just thought you were being genuinely nice to me. If anything, I was just hoping to return the kindness.
Well, if I'm being honest, it seems to me like you were trying to get something out of me. So I just wanted to tell you that it's not going to happen. I guess it's good to hear that you weren't planning on it. Though I don't trust poor people to not take advantage of the rich people they know.
Why would I ever want to take advantage of you? I don't even know what that would mean.
It means whatever you think it means. Money, favors, influence, all of it. I've had tons of people try to come after me for all of that just because I have some money.
Well, I suppose I understand. There are definitely plenty of people in this world who are looking to take advantage of the kindness of others. Though the one thing I don't get, how do you know I'm a janitor?
I think it's pretty obvious why. You were cleaning the windows of the office. That's work that a janitor would do.
Oh, yes, I suppose I did do that.
I was pretty surprised, as you might imagine. The woman whose number I just got thinking she was the boss's wife cleaning the windows? It's a big shock for sure. You really don't look like the kind of person who would be a janitor, though. You had some pretty high-end makeup in that bag. And you do seem to wear a lot of designer clothes. I guess it could all be knockoff or something. Were you trying to hide the fact that you're a janitor?
I'm not hiding anything. I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to get at.
I'm not sure I feel comfortable talking to you. I feel like you're trying to deceive me or something.
If you want to block my number, feel free. I wasn't really planning on trying to befriend you or anything, if that's what you were worried about.
Well, I suppose I could. I've thought about it. I was definitely kind of taken by surprise at first once I figured you out. But I think I'm a little more interested in knowing how the other half lives. I guess I'll keep you around for now as long as you're still interesting.
I have to admit, that does make me a little uncomfortable, but I can't make you block me either. I feel like it might be inappropriate for me to block you, however.
I wouldn't want to block me either.
I can see you think highly of yourself.
Of course I do.
Unexpected response. But I am curious, Joyce. Are you by any chance a new employee? I don't think I've seen you around the office until fairly recently. I have been quite busy, though, so I can't be certain when I first remember meeting you.
I think that would be pretty obvious that I'm new. Or don't I look young enough to have just graduated from college?
No, you definitely seem your age. And you definitely seem like you would interview well. I imagine you know how to handle yourself perfectly.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, just what you think it would mean. I'm not trying to imply anything.
Well, you're right. I was top of my class at one of the best universities in the country. I had a 4.0 GPA and a summer internship at a top firm. And I'm excellent at interviewing. But what do you know? You're just a janitor.
I suppose I don't know everything. But it just makes me think. If you're able to be so nice, professional, and respectful in those interviews, what's stopping you from being like that all the time?
I don't know. Society? I'm sure you don't get it because of your place in it, but there's expectations for behavior depending on who you're talking to and when. There's no way you don't do it too.
Oh no, I do. I definitely know what you mean. It's only natural to have a different way of speaking and acting with different people in your life.
Well, then you should understand why I act a certain way for an interview. And why I wouldn't act like that when talking to some random cleaning lady.
But for you, and correct me if I'm wrong, the thing that matters is social standing, correct? Your bosses and clients are your superiors, and you want to make a good impression. Naturally, you would treat them with more respect than you would other people. That much I understand. But what exactly is different about other people? Especially those you perceive as being under you. Do they not deserve to be afforded at least with some basic respect? If you ask me, it's just as important to be kind to the people you're close to as it is with people you don't really know, no matter who they are.
That's such a cute come-by-all way of thinking of the world. It'd be sweet if it wasn't so unrealistic. I don't have time to deal with people who are below me. I only have so much energy for dealing with people. So why would I waste it on someone like a cleaning lady who I don't have anything to do with at all and doesn't matter to me?
Why do you think that a cleaning woman doesn't matter to you? What about being a janitor puts them below you? Don't they do important and meaningful work too?
I feel like it's pretty obvious. There's a huge difference between a janitor and someone like me with an actual job. Mine requires doing something with actual skill. Janitors don't need a college degree to scrub a floor or clean a toilet.
Janitors are employees just the same as any other employee. Their jobs might be different, but they're just as important in many ways. And they may not require a 4-year degree from a top school to do, but it doesn't mean the work is easy, simple, or meaningless. Many, if not all, janitors work just as hard as you do, if not harder. It would be best to treat them the same as you do anyone else, I feel.
Why would I do that? I don't need to be nice to people who I don't even really work with. Especially people who aren't even doing important work.
Do you think their work is not important?
It's not important to me, at least.
What about the people who are doing the work? Do you think who they are matters? Do their jobs define them?
I mean, I guess that's really all that matters in a lot of ways. If they're janitors, I don't really care who they are. If the King of England became a janitor, he's not really the king anymore, is he? And most people like janitors aren't even close to being like a king. They're almost all poor and uneducated and dirty. Just the kind of people you'd never catch me associating with ever. So yeah, people like that are always going to be below me as far as I'm concerned.
That seems like a pretty cruel way to assign value to people.
But that's life, isn't it? I'm definitely not the only one that thinks that way. Our whole society is built around it. And anyway, cleaning is just such a gross and dirty job. Just not the kind of thing I want to be around.
Well, I suppose you're entitled to your opinion. It seems like a rather unjust opinion to have, but you are entitled to it nonetheless.
I am. I'm glad we're on the same page about that at least. Do you have anything else to complain about? I'd like to get on with my day if you don't mind. You know, actually, I don't care what you think either way. After all, we basically live in entirely different worlds. Your opinion really has no bearing on me or my life.
I guess you're right about us living in different worlds. But you might be surprised at how much my opinion matters. I don't really think that we'll ever see eye to eye on any of this. That said, it does sadden me to know that there are people who feel the way you do who work here.
That's sort of a weird thing to say. Are you trying to get me to feel guilty or something?
No, not at all. I'm just expressing my opinion, just like you. I just feel like cleaning is a noble profession. It may not be glamorous or command a high salary, but it's necessary and something we would sorely miss if we tried to do without. I would hope that you would at least try to look at them like people and not machines who clean for you.
Is that your whole angle? You really are trying to guilt trip me, huh? Well, it's not gonna work. If anything, it just makes me want to throw my trash everywhere to make your life even harder.
I sincerely hope you don't.
Why? What's the matter? If you love cleaning so much, doesn't this just give you more cleaning to do? Shouldn't you be thankful for that? Anyway, have fun with whatever it is you do. I have more important things to worry about. That beer was so good! It's such a shame it got wasted.
You know, you made quite a mess. You really should be more careful with things like that.
You seem like you weren't too busy with anything. So I gave you something to do.
It's not my job to clean up your empty beer cans. Not to mention, you spilled it everywhere. I also need to change my clothes now since they're covered in beer. Please clean it up as quickly as you can before it sets into the carpet.
But your job is cleaning, which would include cleaning up messes like that, I'm pretty sure.
If you spill a drink, you don't just wait around for cleaning staff to take care of it. And that aside, the real concern is that you are drinking at work and making everyone else clean up after you.
Lighten up. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, we're having a holiday party tonight. We'll all be drinking soon anyway.
I understand that.
Then why are you getting so upset about it? Why do you care?
I am not upset about that. I'm more upset that you called me over just to do this. And if this is how you're behaving just after 5 p.m., it suggests to me that you haven't just begun drinking.
Who are you, my mom?
If I were, we'd be having a very different conversation.
I don't get why you got your panties all in a twist about this. If you're the janitor, you should be around to clean up after us, especially during a party. Why shouldn't I ask you to do your job? And also, like, why are you dressed like that? Don't you have a uniform or something?
Why? Is there something strange about the way I'm dressed?
Not really. It just doesn't scream janitor to me. Those clothes seem too nice for you to risk getting them messy. Well, nice for you at least. Seems a little cheap for someone like me. It really doesn't seem like the kind of thing people like you should be wearing.
I'm free to dress how I see fit, aren't I?
I mean, sure, I guess so. It just really doesn't seem like the right thing to wear if you're cleaning toilets.
I see.
Don't be like that. It's a compliment, if anything. I didn't think you could even afford to dress this nice.
I feel I have no choice but to accept the compliment. But that will not excuse your behavior. You've left the conference room in quite a state. It's disrespectful, frankly, to leave such a mess for everyone else to have to clean. Much less to actually demand someone come and clean it. And it makes everyone's life harder, not just the janitor's. Now that it's such a mess, no one can use it again until it's been cleaned. There was supposed to be a client meeting in there 20 minutes ago, but they had to hurry to find another one because it was too dirty.
Well, then the cleaner should have just worked faster to clean it up. And it wasn't that bad. I might have gone a little crazy, but it's not like I threw things on the wall or anything. I did have a lot of fun, though.
I would expect you to be more mature about something like this. You really need to learn to treat the people around you with more respect and dignity.
Who are you to be lecturing me about this? I'm not going to sit around and let you tell me how to run my life. I don't need some cleaning lady treating me like her bratty little kid.
I'm not trying to lecture you about anything. I'm just informing you of some common courtesy is all.
Whatever. Like I care about that. I get to decide how I want to treat people.
And according to that, you think it's acceptable to ask your superior to clean up your messes for you?
My superior? Who are you talking about? Not some random janitor, I hope.
It could be. I at the very least seem to have quite a bit more life experience than you. That should count for something, shouldn't it?
Why should that matter? If someone is below me in society, it doesn't matter if they're older or more experienced or whatever. If you're a janitor, then you're below me. It's as simple as that. I've earned my place in society, and I should be able to do what I want because of it.
I see. So that's how it is, huh?
So you agree with me?
No, I just understand what you're saying. I don't agree at all.
Okay, whatever. Like I care what you think, to be honest. But the one thing I just still don't get is why you dress like that. You still haven't explained to me why you dress so nice as a janitor. You look like you're about to go out for a 5-star dinner. It just doesn't seem appropriate for someone as poor as you. You shouldn't be blowing all your money on clothes like that. It's irresponsible.
You have quite the active imagination, don't you? I don't think I've ever met someone quite like you.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you mean you've never found someone who can see through your whole look? I can spot a poor person from a mile away. You're looking especially sickly today, by the way. Don't tell me you spent your food budget on those clothes. Poor dear. But I guess that's what happens when you put on airs.
You really should be careful how you speak to other people. No matter where they are relative to you. You never really know who you might be talking to.
I think I can figure out who people are just by looking at them. It's not that hard. Though I guess you had me fooled at first. I still haven't figured out your deal. Are you a scammer or something? Like a con woman who dresses up nice to convince people like me to let down their guard?
I don't know what you mean.
You know, like that one girl in New York who got into all those parties. You dress up all nice and sneak your way into places where rich people are. And you convince them that you're a socialite. So they invest in your businesses and buy you nice meals and gifts and stuff. I'm like the perfect target. I'm pretty, I have money, I wear nice clothes. It's like I have a sign on my back that says, "Scam me." But I'm smarter than that. I won't fall for it.
You really think I'm targeting you?
It's the only explanation I can come up with. I'm glad I put 2 and 2 together, though. I don't want you trying to swindle me out of anything.
Well, you certainly do have an active imagination. Have you considered writing a screenplay? Either way, I think the way you're accusing me is rather hurtful. You hardly know me, and yet you're making wild assumptions about who I am and what I do.
What's with you? All you do is try to correct and lecture me. Like I care what someone like you thinks. You're wasting your time with this.
Well, I think you're right about that. This is a waste of time. At this point, I'm not sure that anything I say will change your mind. It's clear to me that you're determined to act the way you want to act. So I think I'm done speaking with you for now. I hope you do see the error of your ways. But clearly, I am not going to be the one to show them to you.
Okay. Whatever, weirdo. Why aren't you cleaning? I told you to clean up the mess, but you just ran off to the bathroom without acknowledging me at all. It's pretty rude of you, you know.
First of all, I have somewhere to be. I already had to change my outfit once because of you, and I have very little time to deal with any more of your antics. And secondly, it is not my mess. It's not my responsibility to clean up after you.
Aren't you the cleaning lady? It's your job to clean up after me.
You really think the VP of marketing has nothing better to do than clean up your messes?
VP of marketing? Who are you talking about? You?
That's right. And as such, I won't be cleaning up any of your messes. I recommend you do it yourself before you face any harsh consequences for it.
Is this some kind of joke? Are you delusional?
This isn't a joke, and it definitely isn't a delusion. I'm the VP of marketing, and my husband is the president.
Your husband? Now you're really losing it. There's no way I'm going to believe that. You can't trick me that easily.
What reason would I have to trick you?
I don't know. I can think of a million reasons. But if you can try to get close to someone like me with all this potential and money and status, you might think you can get me to do you a favor or something.
You really think some outlandish things. I'm not even sure how you imagine that would work.
Aren't you the one being outlandish right now? You're the one claiming to be married to the president. And the VP of marketing on top of that. Am I really supposed to believe all that?
It is the truth, so I would hope you would at least try. I am not entirely sure what is so difficult to believe. After all, you were the one who mistook me for the president's wife when you returned my makeup bag, remember? And then, despite constantly talking about how nice my clothes and makeup are, you managed to talk yourself into thinking I was a janitor.
Because you're the janitor! I already told you that you can't scam me. I'm too smart. I see through you. This all sounds so fake.
I promise you, it's not. It really is a shame that you've been so rude to me the past few days. When we first met when you returned my makeup and badge, I really did think you seemed like a nice girl. And even I can admit you have potential. I regret having traded contact information that day. It might have been better for me not to know you.
You absolutely cannot be telling the truth. If you're the VP of marketing, what were you doing cleaning the windows in the lobby?
I was waiting on a friend of mine who I was meeting for dinner. She was running rather late and I had a good bit of free time on my hands before she showed. I thought I would do something productive while I waited at least. And the windows had not been given a good cleaning in a while. So it seemed like a good thing to do to pass the time.
That doesn't seem like something the VP of marketing should be doing.
I admit I am a little bit of a perfectionist. I'm sure this is normally not something other people of my status would do. But when I see something out of sorts, I can't help but set it straight. Especially if I have nowhere else to be or nothing else that needs my attention. So I occasionally tidy up or wash a window or the like. I find it to be relaxing, actually. And if there's any place I should help to clean, it's the lobby. It's the first impression of our company that visitors get, so the cleaner, the better. So with that in mind, it's only natural for me to do it if I have the time. It does make me think, though. It was rather late that evening when you ran into me. What exactly were you doing in the office at that time of night?
I had a date that night that was right near the office. And I had a bit of time to kill. Not to mention that it took me a while to put on my makeup. But I was about to head out right as I walked by you.
So you weren't working? I hope you weren't on the clock.
I don't really remember.
I'll have to look into that. But it's no real matter. I'm more curious about why you thought I could be the janitor. I don't think many janitors clean windows in suits and heels. At least not any I know. It seems like it would be rather inconvenient to do that.
I guess I just didn't really think of it at the time. And I didn't really get a good look at you either. I did think it was a little weird, though. I just thought maybe you had somewhere to be or something.
It seems like a rather silly assumption to make.
Wait, if you really are Samuel's wife, why didn't you tell me from the beginning? Why did you hide it?
I wasn't trying to hide anything. You talked yourself out of it all by yourself. You seemed to be pretty convinced that I was a janitor or cleaning lady. And I didn't think I could convince you otherwise.
You should have said something when we first started talking.
I thought about correcting you at first, but I was just too stunned with how you treated me to feel much motivation to correct you. If you were going to treat me poorly if you thought I was a janitor, I didn't want you to suck up to me if you thought I was someone important. I don't respect people who aren't honest with me about who they are or what they believe.
Why are you telling me now then?
It felt like you should probably know who I am before we both attend this party. It would be rather embarrassing for everyone for you to mistake me for a janitor again. And I thought it best to tell you before you humiliate yourself. Tossing your beer to me expecting me to dispose of it was humiliating enough. Not to mention you spilling it on my nice dress.
I didn't mean it like that. I wanted you to have a drink with me. Yeah, that was it. And when I tried to hand it to you, my hand slipped.
I think we both know that's not true.
No. I thought I was giving you a full can. I must have switched it around with another one I had.
I think you've insulted me enough already. Don't insult my intelligence as well. Based on everything you said and did before, you clearly were trying to get me to throw it out for you.
No, you got it all wrong. I really didn't mean any of that. It was a joke.
It was not a very funny joke. It really just seems more like how you treat people normally.
It really was a joke, I promise. I didn't mean it like that. I really didn't mean to spill it on you. I promise. My foot slipped on the carpet when I stood up.
First it slipped out of your hand. Now your foot slipped on the carpet. You really are quite slippery, Joyce. And it seems you make quite a few slips of the tongue as well.
I'm not making it up. I did slip on the carpet. It's dangerous, you know. You really should get these carpets cleaned. It's not safe to have them in this condition.
I'm not even sure what that's supposed to mean. Was there soap on the floor somehow? How could carpet be slippery?
I don't know. It just was.
This just seems like another excuse. You really need to learn to take responsibility for your actions.
What do you mean by that?
You really just don't seem to have much common sense when it comes to other people. And you clearly lack basic empathy and respect as well. I am not sure that you're the right fit for our company if you can't take these two important things to heart.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying you're going to fire me?
If it comes to that, that may be the outcome. At this point, it may be inevitable.
But I don't work in marketing. You don't have the ability to fire me.
That might be true. But with the way you've acted recently, I am not sure that my husband would feel particularly good about keeping you around. At any rate, I think I'm going to discuss the matter with human resources to see what is the most appropriate way forward. I, of course, will not be the one making the decision, but I am sure that they'll ask for my input. And I do not plan on lying or embellishing the facts. With the incident with the beer, your general conduct over the past few days, and just how you treat others, especially those you see as below you, it all just does not cast you in a very good light. And there are a few fireable offenses that you've admitted to in the past few hours. Or, well, potentially fireable at least. I'm not sure I'm the one to judge. All your behavior the past few days may be enough to seal your fate, no matter what is found out otherwise.
I can't believe you do this to me. You're the worst.
I'm just doing my job and protecting the reputation of this company. You have no one to answer for but yourself when it comes to your behavior. I am simply reacting to what you've done.
You can't prove any of this. I might have been mean or rude, but that's no reason to fire me. I have rights.
I suppose that is true. But I wonder if you remember the terms of your contract.
What terms?
You're still in your probationary period. It hasn't quite been 6 months since you started. So you are still well within the period. Which means that we don't need much reason at all to let you go. Of course, there will be an investigation, but I am sure that will be wrapped up fairly quickly with the mountain of evidence I have of your behavior.
Oh, this is so bad. Please don't do this to me. I don't think I'll be able to find another job like this one. Especially if you fire me before my probationary period is over. And I have a ton of credit card debt. If I don't have this job, there's no way I'm going to be able to pay it off.
That really does sound like quite a pickle. For you.
I thought you said I was a promising new hire. Samuel said so as well. I remember. You can't just fire me.
I suppose we were mistaken. These things happen. That might have been true before, but with everything you've said, I'm not sure it is now.
Maybe you can help me out? Advocate for me?
I'm not sure that I should. I was the target of a lot of your wrongdoing after all. It seems wrong for me to be your advocate, and I don't think I'm in a particularly good position to do so. It may actually make you look worse if someone you were rude and aggressive towards comes to your defense. It may seem like I'm only defending you out of fear of retaliation, or because I was pressured to do so.
But you're my superior. There's no way I could pressure you into that.
So you admit that I'm your superior after all?
I mean, you're the VP of marketing. What else would you be?
Interesting how quickly things change.
Please don't get me fired. I messed up. I'll try to change.
I'm not sure that you can. All I can say is that I'm glad we saw the true you before it became an issue. Or at least any more of an issue than it already was. I'll be speaking with HR soon. It may be a while before they make a decision, but I'm sure we'll let you know as soon as possible.
Please don't let them fire me. I'll be better, I promise.
I think we'll end it here. I don't really think it's appropriate for me to be discussing this with you any further.
Please don't do this. I'm sorry, I really am. Please.
Joy still attended the holiday party, although it may not have been in her best interest to do so. As you might expect, she made a point of avoiding me as much as she could that evening. Needless to say, it was not a particularly good night for her. She was far from on her best behavior that evening, and she took full advantage of the generous offerings at the party, particularly the open bar. In her rather inebriated state, she soon embarrassed herself in front of the entire company, going off on a rant about her beliefs. Her rant against me, my husband, and the company as a whole was quite colorful, and her follow-up rambling treatise on social status was an attention grabber as well. I would recount the details here for you, but I think you'd find it much the same as what she said to me before. I had a meeting with the HR director the following Monday about her continued role within the company. I believe my input about my experiences with Joyce was valuable in helping them come to a decision. They ultimately concluded that it was in everyone's best interest to let Joyce go. Due to the time of year, they decided it would be a kindness to wait until after Christmas to formally part ways. This meant that she would be eligible for severance. My husband thought it was better to be generous, even if she was decidedly not someone who would return the favor if given the chance. Since her firing, I have not been able to ascertain exactly what she's done. My understanding is that she is the daughter of a rather well-known business owner in the community, and he has not been particularly eager to come to her defense over this incident. Because of that, I'm sure she'll be back on her feet before long, but I do hope this experience gives her a better perspective in the future. At the very least, I imagine she will not be so quick to judge people in the future. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more.